Hello and welcome back, my friends, to the sixth session of the Trade Unions Act under the Labour Laws. I, Forum Patel, would like to give you a brief and quick overlook or overview of the previous sessions. So, my friends, under the Trade Union Act, we discussed about the history, different definitions, registration process, dissolution process, along with the amalgamation, rights and privileges of a registered trade union. So, in this video, we shall be discussing about the concept of the collective bargaining. So, let's get started. Before we get started with the collective bargaining discussions, I would like to pose a question to you all. Let's understand the meaning of collective bargaining. Do you know the meaning of collective bargaining? Can you understand this concept in a very layman's language? That is my habit, as you know, that let's divide the word and understand the meaning. Collective bargaining. Now, when do you bargain? When you want to negotiate. Now, what do you mean by collective? Collective is combined along with, all together. So when we are talking about the concept of the collective bargaining, that would give us an insight, meaning that it must be a process which is talking about the negotiation of certain people or of certain group of certain representatives. So if we are talking about this concept, collective bargaining under the labor laws, that would give us a brief introduction about the concept, that it must be talking about a negotiation process which is taking place between the employers and the employees, or rather any representatives from any of the sides. So what is the collective bargaining process? How it is known? What are the objectives of this process? What are the methods of the collective bargaining? And then what are the benefits that arises out of these collective bargaining processes? Let's learn the same things. So friends, have you ever done the negotiation process or bargaining process when it comes to any of the terms and conditions? So when the employers and the employee, they are having a negotiation process where they would be talking about the terms and the conditions of the employees with regard to the workload or rather benefit or working hours or certain wages, etc., etc. They would be adopting this bargaining training process in which they will be negotiating about all these issues, and they'll be coming to the conclusion in a very smoother way rather than fighting, of course. So this concept was there to maintain a good relationship between these two sectors in this organization, unorganized sectors. So when you are talking about maintaining the relationship in a very healthy way, you do of course adopt the process of the negotiation. Collective bargaining is a process which is a kind of a negotiation, and it provides equitable benefit, and it is of course not difficult to be adopted by any of the groups. So collective bargaining, as I stated before, is a process of the negotiation that has been adopted by the workers or representations by any of the union or of the managerial sides. So what are the objectives of the collective bargaining, my friends? As you can see on the screen, the objectives have been classified for the process of the collective bargaining. The first objective is to maintain a cordial relation and resolve the differences between the management and the workers. Second, to settle the dispute relating to the working conditions, wages, etc., etc. Third, to protest workers' interest through the collective actions. Fourth, to ensure participation of the trade union. So my friends, you must have come across this situation in your life that when you are asking for something, when you are negotiating something, it is very difficult to convince the party if you are negotiating alone. What if there is a whole group of people and then you are negotiating? Of course, there is going to make an impact for the same thing. That is what the objectives of the collective bargaining process are. When you are collectively asking for the negotiation with regard to certain aspects of the working conditions or wages or any such issues, if you are collectively asking for those things, the protest or rather the interest will be protected of a larger group or chunk of people. This process carries the same objective, to maintain a good relationship, to reach to a good conclusion, or rather to come to settle a dispute of which is relating with any of this condition or issues that we talked about, and to ensure the participation and also to collectively bring all the people or all the members of the trade union or the management at a side. So these are the main objectives of the collective bargaining. Now, my friends, why do we need this process when we are talking about the industries, of course? Collective bargaining, as you can see on the screen, it plays a vital role in setting or preventing industrial disputes. It is an important tool for maintaining the industrial peace, and so the responsibility of its proper implementation should be of the both of the employers as well as of the employees. So it is a responsibility that any person engaged in the industry, they have to fulfill. Collective bargaining should enable the union leaders to represent the management and their demands and the desires, and also create a ground for the management to explain to the union leaders their problems and difficulties. Of course, there must be an honest attempt of solving the problems and giving the solutions to a problematic issue. To make collective bargaining effective in practice, faith and confidence in each other should be developed first. There should be respect for each other, of course. The representatives of the labor and the management should be honest and behave with certain responsibility. So, my friends, why do we need this process has been answered in this slide. It is stating that it is very important to maintain a good relationship when you are having the industry. For maintaining a good relation, of course, as we all know that respect, confidence and faith and practice has to be there. These are the fundamentals of a good relations. So if the good relations are there, then you will be able to understand the parties, you will be able to listen, and you will be able to get the exact way, or rather the exact thing that they are asking for. If you are able to understand without creation of any conflict, then the working would be way too smooth, and that is the all objective. That is why the concept of the collective bargaining is there in existence, my friend. We compared the process of the collective bargaining with the process of the negotiation. So, there has to be certain laid down approaches which any person of that organization or industry, they should be adopting when they are moving on with the process of the collective bargaining. So, as you can see on the screen, there are main two approaches. One is called the traditional or positional or win-loss distributional approach, and the second one is known as the principled mutual gain, win-win or other integrative approaches to the collective bargaining. It is very evident from its name that the traditional, positional, win-loss and distributional approach must be about winning of a party and losing of the other party. It is a traditional approach that has been from the very beginning carried forward, and it has not been implied with any new amendments, and it is a distributional approach. It is a positional, that means one person would be given an above position of to the in compared to the other one. That is one of the approach. That means if the person or if an organization is following this kind of approach, it would be resulting into win-loss situation or distributional situation to any of the trade disputes. But my friends, if the person is adopting the next approach for the collective bargaining, that is the principled approach or a mutual gain approach, or you can call it a win-win approach, then the person would be reaching to a different kind of conclusions. In this kind of approach, the situation that will be arise would be win-win situation. That means, my friends, that there will not be loss to any of the parties. It will be like a mutual gain for the both of the parties when the process of the collective bargaining is taking place. In this kind of approach, both the parties would be understanding each other's issues in a very nice way and in a very methodological approach, and they will try to resolve these issues by a cordial relationship maintenance, and thus the approach, that is the second approach, as you can see on the screen, that is the principled or mutual gain approach. As you can see on the screen, principled mutual gains, etc. or win-win situation approach is considered to be one of the best approach that one should be adopting while going ahead with the concept of the collective bargaining process. So this was the next issue, that is what is the role or what are the functions of the collective bargaining. As you can see on the screen, my friends, there are certain laid down functions or roles of the collective bargaining. First is long run social change. As you can see on the screen, my friends, inferior class, it aims to acquire a say over the important issue in different areas of the industry. So, long run social change, that function or rather that role is being played when you are adopting the collective bargaining approach. That means social change is very much important in today's times. The person who is having a higher authority would of course be having a higher hand over the other person who comes from an inferior class. So then does that mean that the inferior class will not be having their own voices, or you should not be hearing them out? Then the collective bargaining process says no to that. It says that if the roles of the collective bargaining process is fulfilled in a rightful way, then we definitely can attain and we can achieve the social change target as we discussed. The next one, as you can see, is peace treaty. That means, my friends, that the conflict are smoothened by the compromises. If the approach has been adopted in its rightful way, you hear each other party, you try and understand the issues of each other, and then you come to a good conclusion. That means peace is maintained, cordial relation is maintained, and conflict are being resolved in a way to smoother method. This would be one of the very important role which would be fulfilling of the objectives of the collective bargaining. The last one, my friends, is what you call the industrial jurisprudence. Now, this word is very heavy in its own nature. Jurisprudence, that is the science of law. When we are talking about the industrial jurisprudence, my friends, it would be like introducing the civil rights where the rules are arbitrary. That means the law should not be arbitrary in its own nature. When it is not arbitrary, it will be participative, democratic. This democracy should be maintained even in any of the industries. If and when we are stating that the democracy should be maintained, that means you need to listen to the party. A proper participation in that organization has to be there. And this participation can only be ensured when we are talking about the collective bargaining process. And through that process, we can reach to the most important, or rather the most important role or functions of the collective bargaining, that is having the industrial jurisprudence at the balance. That means we will be giving importance, or rather we will be giving balance to the science of the industries, to the we will be giving justice to the industries, because the rules will not be arbitrary in nature, the methods will not be arbitrary in nature. It will be about the collective bargaining, it will about having everybody's participation at large. And that means, my friends, that the functions or the role, if are and the correct approach is been adopted by the industry, then the objectives of the collective bargaining process that we talked from the very beginning, that will be fulfilled. So, my friends, the next issue is what are the benefits of this process, or what are the benefits of the collective bargaining. As you can see on the screen, there are the benefits which are available for both of the parties, that is benefit for the workers and benefit for the employers. That means that if we are adopting and if we are fulfilling the whole process of the collective bargaining in its rightful way, then both the parties will be benefited from this process. So your next question would be how it will be benefited for both the parties. Let's talk about the benefits for the workers first. So as you can see on the screen, the first one is the benefit for the workers. It will provide uniformity and of course equality in the conditions of the labor for all the laborers. It will ensure the progress of the workers and increase in their importance and respect, of course. Why? Because you are asking for their opinions. They will be feeling a part in the industry. It prevents the arbitrariness by the owners regarding the working conditions. That was the role and the function of the in the collective bargaining process. It preserves the personal interest of the workers, because you are asking for their own opinions. That will of course preserve their personal interest, because they will be able to speak for their own rights. Then a worker does not feel alone or helpless, of course. In contrary, he will be feeling way too powerful. Then that would be a proper approach for the for giving justice to the process of the collective bargaining. And it also provide a check on the employers also, which is the most important aspect. Let's move on and talk about the benefits for the employers. If it is so much beneficial for the workers, then will it be beneficial for the employers? Then my friends, yes, it will be. How? When we are talking about the collective bargaining process, as I mentioned in the last slide, that it was about two different approaches. The first one was win-win approach and the second one was win-loss approach. So here, when we are adopting the not the traditional method but the other method, that is win-win approach, the situation of both the employers and workers will be in the winning side. So the employers will also get benefits. What are these benefits? So these benefits include that it will be easier and cheaper option for resolution of the dispute when it comes to the employers. For an industry, time is more than money. It is more than any of the asset. If the collective bargaining process has been adopted by the industry, my friend, then the employers will be benefited, because it will be less time consuming, because understanding will be there, because you'll be hearing those people out, and so the compromises that will be reached and it will be applicable to the parties. It will not be in a hazardous way. That will not be a long, lengthy and violent whole process. It will be way too smoother, a successful compromising negotiation process which will be reached by all the parties, and that is of course a binding one. It saves time and also it maintains a good relationship between the workers and the employers. That means, my friends, if you are adopting the approach of the collective bargaining, it will be like the management will also be there in a winning situation, and the workers of course will also be there in a meaningful situation, winning situation. The failure of the process is like no party. If the failure of the process is happened, then the party will be insulted. But here, if you have heard the party, if you have tried and understand the negotiation of the other party, the cordial relation can be maintained and social change can be brought up by this new concept, and we can come above the old traditions, or rather old customs, which are not satisfactory in the nature when it comes to maintaining the good relationship in the industry. So my friends, these are the general, or rather you can say that the benefits for the workers also and for the employers also. Then the next question would be, what is the process of this collective bargaining? So my friends, as you can see on the screen, the whole process of the collective bargaining will be starting with the preparatory phase. Then the discussion phase would be there. That means, my friends, that preparatory stage they will be meeting and they'll be preparing their own sides. Then comes the next phase, that is the discussion phase. They'll be discussing about their own needs and their own demands. Then it will be like proposal phase. In this phase, the whole proposal will be set out. Once the proposal has been made, they will be communicated to the other party. After that, the bargaining process, it starts. The bargaining process would start, and then it will be like negotiating the whole terms and conditions, or negotiation of the proposal, or discussion will be there held again. Then it would come to the next stage, that is the settlement phase. That means, my friend, that the settlement would be taking place after the due negotiation process, or after the due bargaining process. After the settlement process, my friends, that will be formalizing or finalizing the whole agreement that has been agreed up to or upon by both the parties when you are following the negotiation process. And after that, the last stage is enforcement of that agreement. So this is a very brief overview about the process of the collective bargaining. It will start from the preparatory phase, in which both the parties differently, they will be deciding their own terms and conditions. Then they will be discussing with each other. then they'll be making the proposal, then they'll be giving the proposal to one another, then the negotiation or bargaining process would start, then the settlement phase will be there, where again they'll be discussing and coming to a common grounds for the settlement, then the agreement formalizing the same thing would be made, and then enforcement of the same agreement would be done. So my friends, this was all about collective bargaining, meaning, objective, importance, methods, or rather you can call it as approach, benefits, then roles of the collective bargaining, and the process of the collective bargaining at glance. I hope you have come through the whole process in the exact way that I intended to. So I hope you have enjoyed this session and learned about the collective bargaining process. We will be talking about the concept of the industrial relations in the next video. Till then, stay tuned and keep learning.